Hi, and welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Paul Steele from Bethlehem Church in Austin, Minnesota. Now, The Bottom Line is our weekly summary of the previous Sunday's sermon. And we've taken a couple of weeks off. And the reason for that is that my family and I were on vacation in British Columbia on Vancouver Island. My wife and I were asked to speak at a family camp there, and so we did that for a week and then had some time on both sides of the camp to have a little bit of vacation. So it was a great time to get away. We had a wonderful time. It's good to be back. And so on Sunday, we continued on with our summer sermon series entitled Summer Reflections. Now, summer is a time of vacations. It's time of rest. It's time of being restored. But for that really to happen, we have to be intentional about it. We need to take those times of rest and reflection and remembering who God is and what God has done for us. And one of the barriers that we have to rest is worry. We worry about a whole lot of things. We worry about our daily provision. We worry about our health. We worry about our kids. We worry about the future. We worry about all these things. And worry prevents us from really getting the rest that we need because we're in this state of anxiety. We're in this state of worry. To overcome this worry, we have to remember who we are and, more importantly, who God is. And so on Sunday, we looked at one of the most, if not the most popular psalm, Psalm 23. And in this psalm, David declares that the Lord is my shepherd. Yahweh is my shepherd. And when Yahweh is our shepherd, we discover three very important truths. First, we discover that we are provided for. David says, the Lord makes me lie down in green pastures. He provides rest. He provides food. He leads me beside quiet waters. He leads us to water, to what we need. He restores our strength. And so the Lord provides what we need, not only physically, but also spiritually and emotionally. The Lord, when the Lord is our shepherd, we are also protected. David says that when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, when we walk through dark times, God is there with us. God does not abandon us. He is there watching over us with his staff and his rod, this club that the shepherd would use for protection and defense. So God goes with us. Even in those times when we wonder where God is at, the promise is that God walks with us. And then not only when the Lord is our shepherd are we provided for, we're protected, but we're also satisfied. The Lord provides a feast for us in the presence of our enemies. He doesn't always defeat our enemies. In fact, he rarely does. What he does instead, he lifts up his people. He blesses his people. He shows that he favors his people. And so we're satisfied because God is there with us and he provides for us and he gives us good things. And this leads us to this communion, this relationship with God, where we want to be in God's presence forever. And so our big idea from Sunday is this, that in a world filled with worry, we find rest in God's promises and presence. In a world full of worry, we find rest in God's promises and presence. And our challenge is to schedule a Sabbath this week. Be intentional about it. A time when we set aside and we're not going to do any work. We're not going to worry. We're going to do things that restore us. We're going to do things that build our relationship with God. And we're going to remember that God is in control. We can let go because God has it taken care of. I'm glad that you were able to join us this week. I'm glad that you're part of Bethlehem, even if you can't be with us in person. Remember, you can join us every Sunday at 10:30 in person next to Ellis Middle School. We also live stream on YouTube and Facebook. And if there's anything you'd like me to be praying about, send me a message and I'll gladly add you to my list. And remember, the best way you can support us is to give. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week, and God bless.